Alright everybody, so we're going to take a live look at radar here. Looks like there was a tornado warning in effect for the Madison County area, but right now that was just canceled by the Weather Service office. Give me just a second here. So yeah, Weather Service office just canceling that tornado warning. So there was some rotation being reported by a storm spotter there, rotating wall cloud. It's going to be 2 miles east of Madison. But anyway, Weather Service just canceling that. So that's why I went live originally, was due to that tornado warning. But it looks like it had been canceled out just now as I'm going live. So let's take a look at some other storms. Also seeing another storm with a little bit of rotation that looks like that's going to be near south of Scottsboro. Some very broad rotation there with that. That's Station 58 seeing a little bit of broad rotation with a storm south of Scottsboro, just to the west of Section. But seeing just some really broad stuff right there with that little cell. Now what we're going to be watching today is there is a special weather statement out. Let me catch up with everybody. Give me just a second here. Strong thunderstorm will impact northeastern Marshall, south central Jackson counties through 12:30. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Locations impacted Scottsboro, Hollywood section, Pisgah, Dutton, Langston, and Martintown. So right now, basically, we're in the timeline for our severe threat to be coming through, and that does include a threat for some tornadoes, a lower risk of that. Let me get all that brought up on the chat here. Give me just a second. And I'll try to get some of this new Outlook stuff put up. And I'm going to be watching that storm right there. Just a little bit of weak rotation in there. Nothing immediately popping out at the moment. So bear with me. I will have to resize all this out. So there's our newest outlook, and the Storm Prediction Center has went ahead and put all of North Alabama in a marginal level 2 risk for severe thunderstorms today. I'm sorry, level 1 risk of severe thunderstorms today. That includes a lower threat of a tornado and also some damaging winds. Let's take a look at that tornado and damaging wind risk. There's our damaging wind risk, 5% risk for all of North Alabama. And let's check that tornado risk out. Looks like a 2% risk of a tornado in North Alabama. So we'll have to keep an eye on this stuff. The timing is actually, let me grab the timing up really quick. It'll take just a second to grab that. And I'll throw that up. And there's also a flood watch in effect. So just now getting caught up on all this. Forgive me. Very busy day. Go ahead and grab that up from the Weather Service office. And we're actually listening to Huntsville Direct with the storm spotter, so that's what you're hearing there. Alright, so the timing, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for areas west of us, which it's already moved to the east now, so we're looking at around the Huntsville area, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's where we're at right now. And it's moving into northeast Alabama as well, anywhere between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this stuff very carefully to see if anything does happen. Again, it's a lower threat, but we have already had a report of a wall cloud that was over in Madison County. Now, again, nothing tornado warned yet. There was a tornado warning just a little while ago, and that's why I went live. But by the time I went live, they had already canceled it. But noted a little bit of rotation in the storms here near Scottsboro. We'll take a look at that. One more time here to make sure nothing's going crazy. Okay, everything's very broad, very weak. There's nothing trying to organize itself there. So that is some good news. That's all really weak stuff, and that's moving on off to the north toward Hollywood. So we'll watch that area because the storms today, there is a low potential that they could produce a tornado or two. So just be weather aware. Let's go ahead and get the reflectivity up. Watching these scattered showers and storms all across the area. Let me bring another radar up here. And we are directly listening to Weather Service Huntsville. And also in direct contact with emergency management as well. We've got them on here too. All right, so also there is a flash flood watch in effect too. I was going to share that. So let me grab that up. Okay, let's see if I can put that over the screen here. Y'all bear with me here. Okay, should be able to grab that up here in just a second. Hopefully, if it goes correctly. There we go. It's the first time that's actually worked. All right, so flash flood watch in effect, or actually flood watch in effect, Friday 8 a.m. to Saturday 10 a.m. And that does include northeast Alabama, DeKalb, Jackson, Marshall counties. Looks like most likely rainfall between 1 and 3 inches. Heavy rain may lead to some flooding of low-lying areas, rivers, creeks, roads, etc. So keep that in mind. There is a flash flood watch in effect. Brandy, I did not get your report. Right now, Scottsboro, there is a special weather statement there, and I am watching that cell. But there's nothing immediately blowing up to me at the moment. Um, we're going to continue to watch this and make sure nothing else pops up, but there is more storms on the way. So far, everything is being behaved except for that one storm there in Madison. It was tornado warned. Storm spotter did report a rotating wall cloud at the intersection of Madison Boulevard and Slaughter Road in Madison, Alabama. So there was a tornado warning put on that. It has since canceled. And yes, you can actually see a very, very decent little couplet there with that cell trying to get its act together right as that was reported. So you see, not a very big area of rotation, like pretty much what we were seeing yesterday. This is equivalent to what we seen over Guntersville yesterday. I mean, the couplet looked just about the same there. So enough to get a nice little wall cloud going there. And there was a tornado warning issued on that. That couplet there, of course, does look a little bit stronger than the one yesterday, to be honest. But seeing some rotation in some other storms too. One northeast of Mooresville, so a little bit of rotation there. Very weak. Let's get back on this one towards Scottsboro. Also, nothing showing up there. There is some wind with it. And somebody's got the repeater keyed down pretty good there. They're not letting up on it, don't sound like. Some gusty winds there around Scottsboro, moving north toward the Hollywood area. So sorry, I'm a little bit behind today. Y'all forgive me for that. A little bit behind. And just now getting things caught up. So hopefully that's got everybody caught up.
Will you please check your mics, everybody? Someone is either in Vox or sitting on their mic. KI4 Kilo Yard, Skywarn Net Control.
Rainsville looks okay at the moment. I'm just watching some of these storms move in. I went live again due to that tornado warning for Madison County, but it was canceled. So just right as I went live, it was literally canceled. So if you're gonna go to Dade, Georgia, just be weather aware. Again, the timing is literally. I'll pull it back up again. Give me just a second to pull that back up. I'll try to pull that information back up. I may get the wrong. Nope, I got it right. There we go. Here's our timing again. So right now it's kind of along the I-65 area, in between kind of Huntsville, the Huntsville area. So timing again, let's just run this through. You know what? Let's just do this. This is not going to work for me. So hang on. Somebody seriously needs to unkey that mic because they're really messing things up. All right, bear with me. Let me get these model outlooks up really quick.
Please check your microphones. KI4 Kilo Yard, Skywarn Net Control.
All right, everybody, bear with me here. Give me just a second. I'm working on getting that switched up on the stream now. You should be able to see it. There we go. Let's go ahead and run these models through. And that's actually not the one I want. Run it through. There we go. All right, so that is at 10 o'clock, so we're already past that. So that's around 1 p.m. between now and 1 o'clock. So right now our line is sitting literally in between Jackson County and I-65. This line will continue to push on off to the northeast. Looks like it's pretty much here now, but it'll continue to move on off to the east anywhere between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. We'll continue to see that line move on east and then into, looks like it moves fully into DeKalb County around probably 2 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. But right now, it is hanging out around Marshall County. This line's moving in kind of from the south to the north, so it's moving in a little bit of an odd direction than what we're used to seeing with storms. That would be due to warmer air pushing to the north. So it's moving in an odd direction. So right now, Marshall County sitting at around 1 o'clock. So some of these storms, we'll keep an eye on those. Marshall, Jackson County gets into DeKalb County again by around 2 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock time frame. We'll have some multiple rounds of storms, but once this main line gets on out of here, it looks like things behind it kind of settle down for just a little while. Of course, we have some more move in. But let's take a look at the perimeters. I'm kind of curious. So it looks like our perimeters are very low for any tornadic activity in North Alabama, which we just seen, a tornadic storm go up. But relatively low. There's a very low threat of a tornado in North Alabama, but again, not zero. A lower threat. So we're looking at a lower end threat here, not something that, we'd be worried about a tornado outbreak or something like that. We're talking a couple weak tornadoes, pretty much like what was seen. Just some weak stuff, but enough that could cause a problem. Now, looking at the supercell composite, I am seeing a little bit of energy showing up in Jackson, Madison, Marshall, so there could be a few brief supercell development out of this. Looks like it pretty much gets out of here by, I'm going to say, probably around 6 o'clock. So it looks like we got something else coming up. Let me pull that up. Okay, that's going to be for Huntsville. So hang out next hour or two. This line's going to continue to push on through, and we'll keep an eye on things to see if anything more pops up. But we are definitely paying attention to what's going on. I just had to catch up, actually, so forgive me. A little bit behind today. So a little bit of rotation showing up around Hollywood. Gonna watch that. Station 58 going to be monitoring a very weak area of rotation, looks like around Hollywood. Station 58 be standing by monitoring. Thank y'all for joining me here. Alright, I'm going to try to pull up some of these. You have new special weather statement out. That's the one he was just reading. Yeah, is anybody seeing anything around Hollywood? Just curious, a lowering or anything like that? It's right now very, very broad stuff. Nothing crazy at the moment. That's good. No problem. Glad I could. Glad I can keep everybody updated. I'm trying my best. Well, Ashland, honestly, we do have a threat of severe weather, so I mean, it's a low threat, but between now and 2 o'clock, this is going to be moving on through. So I mean, it might be a good idea to pay attention to what's going on because these storms are showing signs of rotation, but it's very weak. So just keep that in mind. It is very weak, but nothing warned at the moment. So it would kind of be, if you wanted to wake her up, it'd be on no, up to you. There's nothing immediately threatening, to be honest. Just watching the storm near Stevenson right now. That's what you're looking at on the radar. It's exhibiting some weak rotation. Nothing too concerning other than some high winds, but I'm keeping an eye on it. But since I need to mention this, if anybody does know of any businesses that would be willing to sponsor us, let us know because we did lose a sponsor, and it's going to be very hard to keep the page verified so everybody can see it. Since we lost that sponsor, unfortunately, so we definitely need more sponsors. And
someone, it's definitely somebody who was on their phone recently with somebody and said, "Tell them to get the weather radio." It is you. We know it's you. Please check your microphone. KI4 Kilo Yard, Skywarn at control.
oh boy. But yeah, we definitely need some more support to keep this going. So if anybody would like to do that, help us out, that would be amazing. Um, get with me in Messenger or something, and we can go from there. Or we got a Cash App up. Anything helps. We trying our best to keep this going for everybody. But it's becoming very hard to do. We're losing sponsors like crazy. I know things are hard on everybody right now. So we really need help from our community to keep this going. So if you know of a business that would like advertisement done, get with me on that. I would very well be willing to do that. No problem at all. I wish I had a camera that I could view. Give me just a second. I've got to get my mind working here because. Okay, make sure it's not coming up over the stream. Okay. Alright, I've actually got. Dadgummit, the camera's looking the wrong direction. Okay, so yeah, I don't have a camera viewing toward Hollywood or Stevenson, unfortunately. Yep.
Here we are, Skywarn at control. A strong thunderstorm will impact west central Marshall, Coleman.
Okay, let me grab that. I don't have a camera, so.
1 p.m. At 12:33 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Good Hope or near Coleman, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations impacted include Coleman, Hartsel.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to switch over to a different radar.
Holly Pond, Dodge City, Baldwin, and Vinemont. If outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside the building. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to localized flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. KI4 KWR, KI1 net control.
Honestly, anything, Ash. I would take anything at this point just to be able to keep everything going. Usually it's $60 a month to sponsor. Honestly, that's usually what it costs. I'm trying not to, charge a lot because my sponsors, I want to treat them all right. But I've had to raise it up from 50 to 60 a month to keep things going because everything's went through the roof. So usually 60 a month to sponsor that, and that's depending on if I've got more than one sponsor, honestly. But yeah, one sponsor was 60 a month. It would help a lot if I could get one more. A lot of flooding in Scottsboro, most of Willow Street and Cedar Street. Let me give that out to EMA. Thank you, Devin. Station 58 traffic to JCEMA. I got some traffic for you.
Good.
Getting reports from public. This is on my stream. A lot of flooding in Scottsboro. Most of Willow Street and Cedar Street is underwater. Just want to throw that out there to you.
10-4. With all the heavy rain, I'm sure it's the usual spots. That's usually primary for nuisance flooding, but we'll keep monitoring it.
Roger that. Thanks, Josh. Just want to throw that out there. I saw that in the comments and thought, well, yeah, throw that out there to you.
Every little bit helps. That way we can start tracking it, then it's becoming a problem.
Yeah, 10-4. There's somebody keying up on the Huntsville repeater, and they just holding it down. I don't know who's doing it, but man, they're really interrupting operations.
There's no telling there.
No, there's not. All right, Josh, I'll keep you updated if I get anything else in the comments. Station 58, be standing by. So far, let me turn that down because somebody's back to sitting on their microphone or deliberately keying it up one. Do see a little bit of hail showing up just to the west of Fackler with this little cell, and yes, there is a little bit of rotation with this. This storm's been exhibiting broad rotation, and it's still exhibiting broad rotation around Mud Creek Wildlife Management Area and Fackler. So as things moving on off kind of toward the Fackler area, it does exhibit some rotation. So if somebody was to spot a wall cloud, which seems unlikely considering how broad this area of rotation is, but again, if anybody was to spot something, if you're in Stevenson looking to the southwest, or if you're in Hollywood looking northeast, you'd probably have a better view from Hollywood. If you see something, let me know, because that rotation does look like it's trying to pick up a bit. This a little mesocyclone at this point, just a little bit of a broad area rotation is moving on off kind of towards Stevenson. So I'm going to watch the way that's looking. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on that one near Stevenson. But again, if you spot something, you think it's a tornado, take shelter, because these storms, low threat, but they have been producing wall cloud over Madison County and areas of rotation very weak. So nothing touched down, but if you see something, let me know. It's always important. Goodness gracious, person, whoever is doing that, I hope they lose their ham license if they're deliberately doing that. All right, Devin, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in direct contact with Jackson EMA, so if you see something, let me know. We can get the word out immediately. So just throwing that out there. Nothing. If you're not seeing me focus on an area, there's more likely not doing nothing. Just throwing that out there. Thanks, Ash. And no, it's really not. I'm not trying to rip everybody off. I'm trying to treat my sponsors right. I'm not making nothing on this. Honestly, I'm not. Um, I'm just trying to keep the page paid. But now that I've had to pay we're having to pay extra $50 because Facebook's not distributing our page anymore. We had to get verified. So that extra 50 is now putting our page up over $200 a month. And that's beyond what I can do. Once my bills and all's paid, I can't do that. So I need more sponsors. I need several. If I could get a few more, because this stuff is not cheap, and it's not getting any cheaper either. And if somebody would, want to do a one-time thing, I'm fine with that. Just any help is appreciated to keep this operation going. I'm one person trying to operate it, and we've got our network. I've created our network that we're talking on back and forth, so been able to create that. Of course, thanks for the volunteers there, because without the volunteers we couldn't do it. That's just the fact is, without the volunteers, just as important as I am, we couldn't do it without them. So I really appreciate everybody. So definitely not trying to take credit for myself, because I couldn't do it without all the volunteers we have on our network. So we really appreciate every one of them. Still watching this area of a very broad rotation around Fackler. And I don't have a camera up that way, so I can't really view anything. Or let's just say there's not a camera up there. Alright, so watching some storm activity around Fairview and Berlin. It's moving on off kind of to the north-northeast. Looks like that may clip Arab. There is a special weather statement with that particular storm there, so just kind of throwing that out there. Strong thunderstorm will impact west central Marshall, Coleman, and southeast Morgan through 1 o'clock. Looks like areas impacted: Coleman, Hartselle, Arab, Huntsville, Good Hope, Falkville, Holly Pond, Dodge City, Baldwin, and Vinemont. So torrential rainfall with that. So 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Give me just a second, everybody. I've got to step back for just a moment. So give me just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, tree service sponsors, whoever. I mean, heck, if it was a person wanting dogs sponsored, honestly, I would sponsor. I mean, hey, I don't care. I'm not picky. I just want some help to keep this operation going for us. For Northeast Alabama, we need the help. Like, it has honestly never been this bad. Um, it is absolutely terrible. So far, so good. I'm still monitoring that little area there, just to the southwest of Stevenson. But it looks like it may be weakening a bit. I do see some high wind probability with it. And I do see some high winds down here near Huntsville too, showing up on the velocity scan. Let me pull that back up. Very unorganized rotation there, just a lot of broad stuff. But yeah, my eyes are still on that area rotation to southwest of Stevenson. Again, very broad. I'm just watching it basically, just because uh, there is some rotation on it. Brandy, you're good. I mean, we really do need all. If you could call all of our members, if you could send out a message, that would be appreciative. I would really appreciate it. Get all of our members kind of alert that there is a threat for some storms coming in, like right now, within the next hour or two. Thanks, Devin. I appreciate that. Stevenson, you got a special weather statement in a weak area rotation with that storm coming kind of your way, so pay attention to that. But it's not warned at the moment. It's just special weather statement on it. And Fort Payne is fine at the moment. All right, Wesley, sounds good. Thanks for coming on. Good to see you. But yeah, please share. I'm not wanting people to just send their money and not get nothing in return. I know things are hard on everybody. That's why I'm willing to do the advertisement. Like if you got a business or a small business, you don't got a logo or anything. You're like, hey, I don't really know where to go with that direction. I can create your logo for you. I'm able to do all that, and I can, make it into a little logo like what you see on my streams and all, and I can share it around, every month for like $60. So, I mean, it's worth it, like to create the logo and all. $60. How many people's gonna do all that for $60 a month? I mean, not hardly anybody really. And I did get a message just now. Let me check that. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for that. I do appreciate it. That's going to help me out a bunch, so I really appreciate that. All right, so I'm not going to stay on much longer. I do have some stuff that I've got to go do. So, it being Friday, I do have some stuff I got to go do. But I will be watching these storms, and I will be coordinating back and forth with EMA. As always, I'll have a radio on me. As always, I may not be behind the live radar stream here, but I will definitely be trying my best to be. I've got a few things to go out and do, but my page does have automatic notifications, so if there's something that comes up, it automatically comes on the page. So whether I'm there or not, you're going to get notified if there's a tornado warning, if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, if all that. So if you don't see me live, that's the reason. So just know um, you will be getting updated on the page regardless if I'm live. So keep that in mind. And also, you can monitor. There's something I want to share because I get this a lot, more than you think. So let me go ahead and bring this up. And because there's a lot of people interested in listening to us and stuff. So right now, this frequency here, yeah, logos are usually over $100, Jay. You're exactly right. It's expensive. So this frequency here is the one you're mainly going to want to listen to, and that is Huntsville. That is the Huntsville repeater. Let me bring that up really quick so everybody can look. If you got a scanner, you may be interested in listening. So let me see if I can't bring it up on the stream here. I believe that's the file right there. All right. So here's some of the frequencies that we operate on. I'm not sure if you can see them, but I can't really bring it up any bigger than that. So the one you're hearing right now is the 147.240 National Weather Service Huntsville linked repeater. That's the one you're going to want to listen to for if you're listening like I am right now. That's the Huntsville Weather Service. You can listen to them. And we also talk back and forth to them, but we're only allowed to report in, of course, when there's something to report. So 147240, if you got a scanner and you would like to listen to Huntsville Direct, there you go. There's 147240. We also talk when in DeKalb County. This is how this works. When there's severe weather in DeKalb County, we talk on the 147.270 repeater in Fort Payne, DeKalb County coverage. When we're reporting stuff, if we're out storm spotting and we're reporting stuff, usually it's reported through the 147.240 Huntsville linked repeater. It's linked to like just about every repeater in North Alabama, except for Fort Payne and a few others. Jackson County's primary reports and stuff will go through probably the Scottsboro repeater, Jackson County 146960, and then if anything happens in Marshall County, it's usually ran through the Albertville repeater, which is 145.450. And feel free to listen and check that out. But right now, let's take one more look at radar before I do back out. This area of rotation is continuing to weaken as it moves into Stevenson, but there is going to be some high winds there. So we will be keeping an eye on things. Again, there is still some more storms coming in, the threat of flooding, some damaging winds, a low threat of a tornado, but we'll continue to monitor this stuff. And thank y'all so much for watching. Let me go ahead and wrap up. Thanks, Ash. I appreciate it. Chase, are you talking about Chase Bryant? If I think you're talking about Chase Bryant, if I'm thinking straight. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up here with our sponsors, Mr. Dylan Snyder at Alabama Living Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, you can give him a call at 256-979-4330. Give him a like on Facebook. And also, if you're looking for your new dream car, go check out RKG Automotive Group. Lots of good vehicles, good prices. And you can give them a call at 256-323-7323. And also, Shappy Land Maintenance. You can give my uncle a call there for any lawn work you may need or any other work, actually. 256-601-2608. And I did create this logo, just to let you know, the video, the logo. I created all that. Well, hang on a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Give me just a second before I leave. So, okay, never mind. Not going nowhere. Alright, never mind. Not going nowhere.
Northeastern Coleman County and southeastern Morgan County until 1:45 p.m.
Never mind, guys, not going nowhere.
5 p.m. A severe thunderstorm was located 7 miles northwest of Holly Pond, or 8 miles northeast of Coleman, moving northeast at 95 miles per hour. Radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and dime-sized hail. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Southern Huntsville, Coleman, Guntersville, Arab, Redstone Arsenal, Owens Crossroads, Grant, Holly Pond, Morgan City, and Somerville. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. CI for KWR. Sky Warning Control.
Arab, Redstone Arsenal, Owens Crossroads, Grant, Holly Pond, Morgan City, and Somerville.
Okay, so I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm not going anywhere. Looks like I'll be staying right here. So, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Marshall County, as most of you just heard. How much does a scanner cost? You can literally get a Baofeng radio, a $20 Baofeng radio. Get you a good antenna, and you can pick this up. No biggie. You can receive all day long. There's no license required to listen. So, yeah, Jay, I don't blame you. But yeah, if you want to listen to us, $20 Baofeng radio, I can set it up. I mean, I can help you work through all that so you can listen. It's not a big deal. You will need you a little antenna for the outside probably, but you can pick up Huntsville. I can pick them up with a handheld with no problem. They've got a huge repeater over there, so bear with me. I do have to get something for my sugar. That's why I'm trying to back out, but I'm not going to be able to. So I've got to get something for my sugar, or I'm not going to be any good to anybody. So give me 1 minute. I'll be right back, but we're going to continue to track these storms. All right, sorry about that.
Good afternoon.
All right, so right now we're tracking a severe thunderstorm, and that's what I was just talking about. Some of the high winds showing up in this little storm here. So let me go ahead and bring that back up again.
Station 26, standing by.
So seeing some very high winds, potentially up to 60 miles per hour with this storm near Holly Pond. That's some really high winds right there, right over Holly Pond. And let me grab the radio really quick. Roger it. It's Station 58. I'll be on standby here. Some of our members are still at work and they're not able to join us, so they're paying attention from where they're at. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for portions of Marshall County. That's going to be, give me just a second here, central Marshall County, northeast Alabama, southern Madison County, north central Alabama, northeastern Coleman County, north central Alabama, and southeastern Morgan County, north central Alabama. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and some dime-sized hail. Locations impacted will be southern Huntsville, Coleman, Guntersville, Arab, Redstone Arsenal, Owens Crossroads, Grant, Holly Pond, Morgan City, and Somerville. Station 58 will be standing by.
2-4.
All right, so had to grab me a sugar tablet there, so give me just a minute. My mind hopefully is straightened back up here in just a minute. Albertville, just this storm is just to the northwest of you guys. So if you're in Albertville, it's kind of hanging off to the northwest. No, David, I actually haven't. I'll write it down and I'll see if I can check it out. The barometric pressure is 28.76, so um, I'm going to write it down really quick. So yeah, I actually do have somewhere to go, but I'm trying to make, time to let everybody know. Everybody can jump in and see there's a warning in effect for Marshall County. I don't want to leave without anybody knowing it. But again, yeah, Jose, if you want a scanner, get you just a Baofeng radio, get you a long antenna. You may have to put it up by your window, depending on where you live at. And you can listen. Most of the stuff can be picked up on the Huntsville repeater. It's a huge repeater, and it picks up really easily. It really does depend on where you live at, though. But we don't mind you listening. I know a lot of people's like, they don't want you listening, all that. That's not true. We want people to listen, to know what's going on. We're not trying to hide anything from anybody. We want people to listen and know what's going on. That's the whole point. You do have to have a ham license to talk, but to listen, you don't have to have no kind of license to listen whatsoever. But yeah, that's the reason I said Baofeng. I know a lot of people are probably going to just flat out ditch me because of that. But the Baofeng. The reason I say that is because most people can't afford $200 and $300 for a handheld scanner. That's how much they're costing nowadays. Baofeng radio, you can get it for $30. You can have a amateur operator as myself program it for you, and you ain't got to worry about it keying up or anything like that. It'll just receive, and you can use it as a scanner. So, just an FYI there. We can program them so they don't transmit. And yeah, Jennifer Shea, you do. I do agree with that. You do. You need to get you one. Even if you don't have a ham license, get you one you can listen to. Get with me, I can program them. But our future, honestly, I'm going to talk about this. Our future is looking like, and I mean honestly, our future is looking like not looking good with public safety being able to hear public safety. It's not looking good. I'll be honest. There's so many departments that are adopting encryption, and that means it doesn't matter if you got the most expensive scanner in the world, it won't pick them up. And that's a lot. We're seeing a lot of that happen, even in our local areas. We're seeing a lot of police and fire, EMS go encrypted, and you can't hear nothing that's going on in your area anymore. Um, so it's not looking good. You know, we can speak up and say, hey, we don't agree with it and all that, but you know, I'm hoping something changes, but it's not looking good. So we need another way that we know is going to stay open and the public can hear what's going on. And that is one thing that I am for sure is going to stay open will be amateur radio and Skywarn and all that. You know, it's analog. I don't see it, you know, ever going encrypted. It's actually illegal for us to encrypt stuff. So, yeah, I don't. There's got to be alternative ways for the public to hear what's going on. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I wish they wouldn't either. Nothing coming toward Rainsville or Fort Payne yet. I could say more, but I think we all know what's coming for our country, to be honest. I think everybody knows, just to be honest, with this future equipment and all that stuff. Yeah, it's. I think we all know what's coming. The one that's moving in to Arab produced a tornado in southwest Birmingham. Goodness gracious. I did not see that, but I am watching it because it was showing some signs of rotation, to be honest. So let's get back on the weather here. And yeah, there is some rotation with it. So if that thing's already been a supercell at one point, which I didn't see it produce a tornado down there. But if it's already produced one, then yeah, that makes me even more concerned with it because supercells, they don't give up that easy. And I hear a lot of thunder. There's definitely some very high winds in this storm, especially north of Holly Pond. That's going to be moving toward Arab. So if you're in Arab, Joppa area, Baileyton, you've got some very high winds coming through. Well, Baileyton area, but you've got some winds coming towards you if you're in Joppa or Arab. We're going to keep an eye on that. There is some weak rotation with that too. I've been noting that for quite a few minutes. Looks like it weakened just a bit. So looks like that storm weakened on out in Jackson County, so that's good. Don't see nothing there concerning other than some wind. Our next concern now is moving on down here toward Baileyton, and this storm is moving into Marshall County. That could produce some 60-mile-an-hour winds. So let's run that back through. Keep in mind there is a severe thunderstorm warning for central Marshall County. That's our listening area, northeast Alabama. There is one for southern Madison County, northeast Coleman County, and southeastern Morgan. Some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and dime-sized hail with that, and I didn't mean to do that. Areas impacted will be southern Huntsville, Coleman, Guntersville, Arab, Redstone Arsenal, Owens Crossroads, Grant, Holly Pond, Morgan City, and Summerville. Yeah, thunder is getting a lot louder. It's moving across right now, so I'm gonna say around 2 o'clock in our area. That's where the models that I was just looking at was talking about. Looks like around 2-ish, somewhere right in there. Maybe a little later, because this line's not really moving that quick, to be honest. I pull the reflectivity back up. This line's not moving a lot at all. So let me see if I can pull. I actually think I've got. Yeah, no, we don't. Dadgummit. I was thinking of something else. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to see if there's a camera. There actually is a camera pointing right into this storm moving toward Arab. So I'm going to briefly pull that up. So I see lots of lightning with it. And again, if you'd like to view these cameras too, you can. All you got to do is go to hazecams.com, put that in there in your search bar. You'll have like a map pull up. You'll have to kind of zoom into it, either with your two fingers or if you're using a mouse, zoom into it and find the one that is near Arab. You can click it up and you'll be able to see what's going on. We're not really seeing anything other than some rain and lightning on that camera. We've got another one in Albertville, but it's facing the wrong direction. So I'm going to try the section camera. I've noticed we've got some really low cloud base today. Section camera shows some wind. We've got 22 people viewing that camera right now, the section camera.
For KWR, Sky Warning Control. A strong thunderstorm will impact north central Jackson County through 1:45 p.m.
And that's going to be this one here.
At 1:09 p.m. CDT, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Stevenson or near Bridgeport, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations impacted include Bridgeport, Stevenson, Bass, and Russell Cave National Monument. If outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. KI4 KWR, Sky Warning Control.
And that'll be with this little B batch of storms moving into Tennessee, over there north of Stevenson. You've got to be kidding. Okay, so seeing a little bit better area of rotation now south of Baileyton. A little bit of rotation there, watching that. So we're watching this little area of weak rotation near Baileyton currently. That's going to push on off to the north. Oh my gosh. I hate to say this, but I wish their radio would blow up. I don't know, I'm wondering. I am based in Crossville. Tyler, hello there, brother. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you on. So I'm briefly going to turn that down because somebody is... I'm wondering if somebody's kid hasn't got the radio either and they're playing around with it. It kind of sounds like that, to be honest. Yeah, I was noting that little area of rotation there. It's picking up just a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it weakened out again on that latest scan, so that's good.
At 1:12 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Arab, moving northeast at 35 per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include southern Huntsville, Gunnersville.
Looks like that
Arab,
warning was just
Richmond Arsenal,
dropped.
Owens Crossroads, Grant,
So yeah, looks like they
Pond,
just
Morgan
dropped
City,
that severe thunderstorm
Wheeling,
warning for
and
Marshall.
Union Grove. KI4KWR, Skywarn at control.
All right, so according to radar, they just dropped the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for Marshall County. So we'll hang out a minute and see if that.
And we got another update. The severe
There
thunderstorm
we
warning
go.
for northern Marshall, southern Madison, northeastern Coleman, and southeastern Morgan counties is now canceled. The storm which prompted the warning is weakened below severe limits and no longer poses an immediate threat to life or property. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. However, gusty winds and heavy rain are still possible with this thunderstorm. KI4KWR, Skywarn at control.
All right, everybody. So the warning has been canceled now. There's no warnings in any of our counties right now. There is a special weather statement still up north of Stevenson, but that's moving into Tennessee. Shouldn't be a problem. So the line of storms we'll continue to watch will actually be this batch right here. This will slowly drift on off kind of to the east, northeast. We will eventually get some of this to move on off in our direction. We will pay attention to it. And again, if you don't see me on, which I'll try to be on if there's a warning, just know that you can get notified by the page automatically. We pay for an automated service that automatically alerts everybody and lets them know what's going on the page. So you will have to actually, make sure you're set up on the page to receive all notifications. You need to go in there and individually do that. You can't just follow the page and get notified, unfortunately. You have to go in there and receive all notifications. Once you do that, you'll get notified of the page, the updates and stuff like that. So we're going to step back out of here for a little while. Got a few things to do, but I will have my pager on me and my radio. If something pops up, we'll jump back on here again. So I've got to get something to eat. So thanks again, everybody, so much. We really appreciate y'all. Stay weather aware, and we'll see you probably pretty soon. Take care, everybody. God bless. Have a safe rest of your day. Be weather aware.